Just wave at me when I'm on.
This one?
Yeah.
Go.
Meditation room.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me take this.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Ona Chambers, and I'm a practitioner here. And we're going to start with a meditation this morning, our first live meditation in almost a year and a half. I'm very excited. So today I'm going to read a meditation of Mark Nepo's book. It's called The Book of Awakening, and I picked one that I thought kind of was good for new beginnings, because today is definitely a new beginning. So if you'll sit back in the chair, take a few nice deep breaths, and connect with Spirit within. Breathe, and just let go of everything it took to get here this morning. Be in this moment right now, connected to the divine. This reading is called Through the Wall of Flame. As a frightened man in a burning boat has only one way to the rest of his life, we must move with courage through the wall of flame into the greater sea. Living long enough, we each find ourselves surrounded by an old way of being, thinking, or loving that is going up in flames. It is that unexpected moment we usually find ourselves full of fear, feeling trapped by an old way of life coming in on us. But this is the passage of rebirth that we must move through if our lives are to unfold. It is the momentary and painful crossing from what is old into what is new. It is understandable to stall at the wall of flame, not wanting to face all that is burning around us. Yet old ways can burn forever, and waiting for the flames to go out seldom works. We can waste years in the waiting. Like the frightened man in the burning boat, we must trust that the greater sea we are jumping into will douse whatever catches fire as we move through. This is what faith is all about. Without trying to be brave, and with great fear, I have stumbled and jumped through many walls of flame. The first time, I think, was in leaving home, needing to go, burning at the edge, afraid I wouldn't survive beyond the flame of anger in which I was raised. Not much later, I had to move through the flames of first love rejection. Here, the broken part of me was almost willing to be burned alive. I felt certain there was nowhere to go and nothing that could soothe me. I more fell through this wall than jumped, and of course, once in the sea of life, beyond myself, the world continued and I healed. Perhaps the greatest wall of flame I had to jump through was the pain of cancer and the prospect of dying. It seemed the entire sea was on fire. Even once overboard, drifting farther and farther from the flames, I thought I might drown. How could I know that the greater sea was the womb of a deeper life? I'm sure this is the same for anyone struggling to break out of any form of addiction, illness, or abusive relationship. But the subtlest ring of fire, it seems, is that self-centered way of thinking that starts to suffocate us with its smoke, for we carry the smoldering of being self-centered everywhere we go. It lives off us and eats up who we are. So how to jump from the burning boat that is us? Well, it somehow requires jumping from the boat of the ego into the sea of our spirit. This somehow involves the courage to surrender our stubbornness and our dreams of control. It means letting the ribs of the ego burn and jumping through. We will more than survive. We will be carried to an unimagined shore. Now center yourself and meditate on one way of being, thinking, or loving that stands between you and the fullness of life. It might be a hiddenness you bear, or a critical, blaming nature you suffer, or a fear of your own feelings. Breathe deeply and imagine what moving through this old way might ask of you. It might be as simple as giving yourself permission to be spontaneous, or giving yourself permission to break your own routines. Breathe slowly and picture yourself moving through the wall of flame burning about you. Breathe steadily and practice making the leap by picturing this again and again. And now, gently and loving, bring your consciousness back to this room. Feel your feet on the floor and take your time. When you are ready, open your eyes, feeling refreshed, relaxed, and ready for the talk. Forgot to ask whether
Oh, it was.
Now, if you turn your seat for the second song. We come together in this moment. We bind our hearts and minds. For we are born a tapestry, woven from one mind, one creation, undivided, all unique expressions of God. We come together now in one accord. Come together in this moment. We bind our hearts and minds. For we are form a tapestry, woven from one mind, one creation, undivided, all unique expressions of God. We come together in one accord. And so it is. If you have a device, I offer you the opportunity to silence it now. And thank you for coming to celebrate the Sunday.
It's so fun. Everybody was saying, gosh, will anybody show up? You know, it's you know, and I think we'll have a good turnout today. I really do. My name is Linda Finley. I am the spiritual director here at Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. Incredibly delighted to see each and every one of you here today. You all hold a very special place in my heart, even if you're brand new, even if this is your first day here, you're special to me because we're all, oh my God, John, hi. There are people who snuck in after the first huggings, and so I'm like, ah. So for those of you watching at home, I'm sorry, I'm going to get really distracted today, and I'm probably going to cry, and it's all okay because we're all just really so jazzed to see one another. Center for Spiritual Living has been here for 51 years. And we weathered the pandemic, and we're back together. Not all of us here, not everybody's ready quite yet to come back, and be in person, but I'm so grateful for those of you who are and for those of you who can. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll have the cameras all up in the sound room, so you won't have this in front of you, but for now, just thank you for being here. And I want to call back up now. Well, let's see. First, we're going to sing 2 verses. Come on up, Ona. We're going to sing 2 verses of Right Here, Right Now. And then our practitioner of the day, Ona Chambers, is going to lead us in an affirmative prayer for today's service. So I'm going to switch places. Right here, right now, we have come into the presence of God, and our hearts are open to the love that's found.
Good morning, everyone. I can't tell you what a joy it is to look out and see faces. This is so nice to have people to pray with instead of just doing it in my imagination. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Owen Chambers. I'm a practitioner here, and I'm going to lead us in what we call an affirmative prayer. That is not a begging or a pleading prayer, but a prayer of appreciation and gladness for all that we've been given. And in the process of this, we remember that all we have to do is accept it. It's already been given. We just have to open, surrender our egos, surrender our control, and accept. So now, if you close your eyes, if you feel comfortable doing so, relax in your chair, take a couple of deep breaths, and as we just said in the song, come into the presence of God, the God that is always within us, that makes us all one. That God is ever present, and only we forget He's there. And the more we can open to that awareness and that consciousness of the divine, of the higher self within each one of us, the more rich and full our lives will be. So I know that I am a part of God because God is in all of us, it's in everything. And as I tune into that, I can remember who I am and why I am here and how to get the things I need in my life. And I do that by opening, opening, opening. I open the spirit. I let its consciousness flow through me. And I know that anything is possible. I live in a field of infinite possibility, which some people call God or spirit. It doesn't know life or the universe. And I'm immersed in this. And it is for me, it is here for my support, as is the center in this community of loving souls that have come together to learn, to love, and to support one another. And today in the service, everything comes together to make a full and complete and whole experience for us. We open our minds and our hearts, and we will hear the message that was meant just for us today. The music will come together, and talk, and all the peripheral people that put this service together, each put it together in such a way so that you will hear. And not only that, the words you speak, what comes out of your mouth, may inspire somebody else to grow and to evolve and to change and to have a better life. So in total gratitude for this whole picture, this whole community, this unity, this oneness that we all are, I place this word in the law, which always says yes, Lord. And I know it is already so. Say with me, and so it is.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. Oh. Well, and I've been doing presiding for like 16 months now. We can go ahead and end this mic now, Michael. Go ahead and turn this one off. And I lost my place, so just bear with me here. We have a global vision that the Centers for Spiritual Living set way back when we merged United and International. And we've been reading we broke it into pieces, and we've been reading just one little piece of it each week. And this week we're on lesson number 2, vision number 2. We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. We could all live from our highest spiritual principle. I like to think I can, I like to think I do, and then the world comes along and takes me by surprise, and I get caught, and I'm really not seeing God in everybody. And so I need to remind myself that I need to be in alignment with my highest spiritual principle, because if anything is disconcerting or bothering to me, there is something in me that is ever so slightly out of alignment. I need a spiritual chiropractic adjustment. That's what I basically. I want to thank Ona today for serving as practitioner in our return session, Reverend Trish Mackey for serving High Watch. A little later today, we'll be getting music from our beloved Phoebe Bloom. I want to especially honor Matt and Mo. I shared with them before the service. I went through withdrawal for like the first 2 months that we were in, because I come in here every morning, every Sunday morning, and the two of them are talking and noodling and playing the bass and playing the piano. And that was my background noise, my white noise for getting centered for the service. And after we quit meeting, I'm in here in this dead silent space. And it was just creepy. It was just, so today having them here and hearing them just do their little repartee together, everything on me, all the nerves I had about us coming back together just went, it's all good. It's all just fine. Everything is in order just the way it needs to be. And so it is. So we have a practice of doing an affirmation each month. And I right now would like us to, yay, it's up there. Woo, it's working. The slideshow is working. The projector's working. It's all good. So I'm going to read this through once while you listen, and then we're going to say this out loud together, and I'm going to hear all your amazing voices saying it with me the second time. So for now, just listen. When I open to and commit to the highest vision for my life, divine spirit flows through me as divine truth. And together, when I open to and commit to the highest vision for my life, divine spirit flows through me as divine truth. God, that's music to my ears, all those beautiful voices. Yes. So it is my distinct honor and privilege right now. The one thing we could do while we were doing everything online was bring our fabulous guest musicians in on video. And so we've had them, but we haven't had them in person. And I got my first Phoebe hug in months today. And Phoebe's got 2 songs for us, one now and then one after the talk. So Phoebe Bloom, please.
The first one is, well, I'm gonna be really strange.
What
a surprise. But, yeah, I know. It's trippy.
Sure, that's weird.
There's a song I've been listening to for quite a while, and I can't stop. And it's so amazing, but it's this really intense rock song. But the words were just killing me. So I decided I would sing it to you a cappella. And it's called Pneuma, which is P-N-E-U-M-A.
They need you to go down in there or
This way?
over in front of that.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Hi. Pneuma means the vital soul, spirit, or creative force of a person. It's sort of like the affirmation we were just reading and finding our highest self, which we all should do, right? So, we are spirit bound to this flesh. We go around 1 foot nailed down, but bound to reach out and beyond this flesh. Become pneuma. We are will and wonder, bound to recall, remember. We are born of 1 breath, 1 word. We are all 1 spark, sun becoming. Child, wake up now, child. Release the light. Wake up now, child. Child, release the light. Wake up now, child. Wake up now, child. Spirit, 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 bound to this flesh, this guise, this mass, bound to wake up, remember this dream. We are born of one breath, one spark, some becoming. Pneuma, reach out and beyond. Wake up, remember. We are born of one breath, one word, one spirit, eyes full of wonder.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Bing. So now if you're new here, or you're old, or whatever you are, I invite you to come and sit and be present in the moment. And as you feel comfortable, please close your eyes when you're done singing. And we'll sing a short song, go into a short meditation, and know that you're safe here. I am holy. I am holy. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. And when I stop in the here and the now, and take in that here is the only place I can ever be. And now is the only time in which I can live. I then remember that wherever I am, and whenever I am, is sacred ground. I am open to whatever I need to learn and to hear. And I am thankful that I am where I need to be. And so I simply let go and let God be God in me. And so I have missed those meditations. I have missed those meditations. Thank you, Matt Fredder. Thank you, Bo Schneider. Thank you, John Hicks and Bethel and Michael and Susan and Dale and Kathy Kleppinger and Liz Callahan. Hi, Liz, there at home. All these people are behind the curtain with the computers, and there are people who are watching right now. We used to be home watching this. There's people home right now watching this live. So we are. All right. So I'm grateful on this second week of July to be sharing with you. This month's theme is pulled by vision. We talked all through June about kind of how we can spend a lot of our lives pushed by pain, that it isn't until we're really miserable that we decide we can change things, that we really get stuck in places and we dig a deeper hole to where we're finally up to here before we realize we've dug ourselves into a trench. And we're pushed by that. And it's far better if we can do it, if we can awaken to it, to be pulled by a vision, by an idea that takes hold in our heart, in our soul, in our mind, and asks us to go big, to go be out there, be crazy, be a little wild and dangerous. And I spent my whole life kind of being safe. And I'm grateful now in my daughterhood. It's kind of weird, you think of yourself, I'm still thinking I'm in my 30s somewhere, my brain is still playing around in there. And then I read in the paper about somebody who's 5 years younger than me that got injured. They say this elderly woman, and I'm going, they weren't even in high school when I graduated. How could they be elderly? They can't, So I've decided at this stage of my life, I'm moving forward. I'm moving with joy and with grace and with speed into something new and beautiful that pulls me. And I'm asking all of us, I have made a concerted effort not to talk about coming back, but talking about moving forward into something new and greater and better, something that we can have as a richer way of being together. We have 50 years of amazing history in this community here. This community was founded in 1970 in a little office space over near the grain elevators. They're in downtown Eugene, and in 76 bought this building, and we've been here ever since then. And I don't want to, there's nothing wrong with that 50 years, 50 plus 1 years of history, but that's our foundation. That's what we built on, and that's who we are now, and that's our starting gate. So this is where we get to decide now, week by week, how are we going to do this? We spent 16 months of building the technology flame while flying. Now we're going to build the reality flame, but we're still flying. We're still going. So I realized something. This week's talk title is your commitment greater than your resistance? Really committed to this change. Ooh. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. And we love the idea of transformation. We love the idea of transformation. Transformation sounds so wonderful, mystical, rich, and good, until we realize it involves changing how we do things. There's a little cartoon that says, how many people want change? And everybody's like this, how many people want to change? Nobody wants to change. They just want change to happen for them. And I've seen this phrase and I just love it. This is what I'd like to do. I know all the things I need to do this. I don't really want to do those things, but this is what I want to do. And so we have to decide that if we are going to do this wonderful new thing, who are we going to be? How are we going to be that thing? We tend to view our vision, though, in the context of what has happened, of past events, what has been. And good old Thomas Trower, years and years ago, said, principle does not depend upon precedent. Principle, which is God, which is the way the world works, which is how things happen. It doesn't care what happened before. It doesn't care about precedent. But we live in a world where we think of prep. Well, I tried that before and it didn't work. I've messed up at that in the past and it didn't work. I've had problems before, so it's probably not going to work now, because it hasn't before, because it's just the odds are just not with me. Probabilities. We get stuck. We lose our possibilities because we get stuck in the probability. And you know what? Just because something happened 1,000 times yesterday, it can happen completely differently today. This is how the world works. It is constantly changing, evolving. We are kind of like a virus. We morph, we change, we become different. And when we become different, we grow in a new direction and we are attracted to new things. So what we have to do is let go of being anchored in what has been. Let go of dropping our anchor for what has been. I think the opening line of Phoebe's song was about we're 1 foot nailed down. So we're all just walking in circles. If we stick with what's always been, we'll walk in circles. We'll never get out of where we've been. We have to be willing. I have to be willing. Every one of us has to be willing to ease off our grip on what has been and open up to what could be. The magical, amazing nature of what could be. There is so much out there. But if our resistance stops us from stepping into the possibility, we'll never really know. I'm going to share a personal story here. I was kind of a chubby little girl, not grossly, but just a little on the solid side. And then when I became a teenager, I thinned down and I got my fighting weight, whatever. And I was pretty damn, I look back, I always wanted to lose weight because I was like 5 inches taller and 20 pounds heavier than all my friends, but that's because I got my height early. Anyway, in my 20s, from my 20s to my mid 30s, I did the yo-yo diet. Gained 20 pounds, gained 15 pounds, lost that 15 pounds, gained 20 pounds. Lost that 20 pounds, gained 30 pounds. Lost that 30 pounds, gained 40 pounds. Lost that weight back, and then I quit smoking, and it's like, oh, dear God in heaven, never mind, my thyroid died, and I ballooned. And when I first moved here, I weighed almost 70 pounds more than I do today. And I've been talking to myself about yo-yo dieting, but what I realized is since I moved here and after my mom passed in 2008, I started taking weight off. In the 15 years from 20 to 35, I yo-yo dieted. In the 15 years from 2008 to now, 13 years, whatever it is, I haven't yo-yoed. It's just it comes off a little at a time, a little at a time. But I've been telling myself the story from my 20s. I've been saying, oh, you're just going to gain this back. You're just going to, no, I'm not. Because I don't have that story anymore. Now, losing weight is kind of a personal ego-based thing. It's just, and it's not as profound as changes in attitude about all kinds of things. But I wonder, where am I telling myself a story that I established in my childhood that if I actually looked at the facts of my life, hasn't been my story for 20 years now. I'm just telling the old story and convincing myself not to try something new because that's just the way I am. Infinite Mind made each of us in its own image to find our way into our own perfection. And we are absolutely free to do everything and anything we choose to do. We are absolutely free to create a life around us that is heaven or hell. This is the sad part. Freedom does not mean we're going to choose the smart thing. I am free to choose some of the stupidest stuff imaginable. I am free to shoot myself in the foot. I am free to do crazy things that don't help me or anyone else. Or I am free to take on a new shape. And in metaphysics and in our teaching a lot, we talk about the image of the caterpillar and the butterfly. And how the caterpillar goes along and does its thing, and then it weaves a cocoon, and then in the cocoon it morphs into this beautiful butterfly. And we have this kind of image that what it did was go to the gym and really slim down and buy some new wings. And actually what happened is there's these things called imaginal cells that live in the caterpillar. They carry the image of the butterfly. Well, when the caterpillar starts realizing these imaginal cells are coming up and wakening up inside of it, it starts killing them. And it goes into a cocoon and it starts killing the cells that are what are its new thing. But what happens is the imaginal cells expand and expand, and the butterfly or the caterpillar dissolves into goop and becomes food for the imaginal cells, which shape together and become the butterfly, which comes out of the cocoon, a whole new being, and lives its sweet, short little life and lays eggs, which become caterpillars that contain within them the imaginal cell of the butterfly. Caterpillar has to completely release its form, its physical form, and caterpillar identity to realize its butterfly identity and form. Am I willing to let go of my caterpillar? Am I willing to let go of that within me which tells me I can only crawl on the ground and be stuck with this one shape and this one way of being? Or am I willing to step out and be something completely different? Am I willing to look at who I am and be willing to let that go for something greater that I can see inside me? I talked a couple of weeks ago how my ex used to say my worst trait was the fact that I saw in people what they wanted to be, not who they actually were. I think it's a good trait. I think it's one of my strongest traits. I can see within people the beauty that's there. So this is a quote from Rachel Naomi Remen, and I love her books. I don't know if we still have any in the bookstore, but she has written Kitchen Table Wisdom and My Grandfather's Hands and a few other things, but she's amazing. So perhaps change is less about fixing a broken world and more about uncovering hidden wholeness in all events, all organizations, and all people, and remembering our personal power to make a difference. This old story has greatly changed the way I am a physician and also a teacher. It has given me new eyes. Everyone and everything has in it a seed of greater wholeness, a dream of possibility. Perhaps what I once saw as broken or lacking might just as easily be seen as the growing edge of things. A place to be valued and nurtured in our patients, our students, and in ourselves. Maybe the places where I am rough around the edges are places where I am struggling greatly, where I haven't quite figured out how it is that I am going to be in this world. But I know that I can. And how many of you ever watched the show House? Years ago, yeah. I like medical dramas and stuff. Hugh Laurie is a cool actor, but he's also quite a philosopher. And I saw this and I wanted to share this. It's a terrible thing in life, I think, to wait until you're ready. I have this feeling that no one is ever actually ready to do anything. There's almost no such thing as ready. There's only now. If I'm getting the call to create a change, do I have to wait till I'm pushed by pain? Or can I create a vision that so draws me to what's possible that I am willing to unhook myself from all that I have been up to this point and dissolve into something greater? There's an old aphorism about a farm, and the farmer is sick. And the farm animals get together and they decide they'd like to do something special for the farmer and make it breakfast. A nice breakfast of butter and cream and eggs and bacon. And they get together and talk. And what happens is basically the pig finally listens to everybody talk about how wonderful it's going to be. And the hog finally says, for you guys, it's a donation. For me, it's a total commitment. So am I willing to make that total commitment? Am I willing to bring forth that within me, which is hungry to be who I came here to be, whose spirit and vision, when it said, let there be a Tonya, let there be an Alan, let there be a Michelle, let there be Di, let there be, and let them find what I see in them. And let them bring that forth and midwife it into the world and allow it to be something that changes everything. Something that guides us into a more wondrous way of being together than we ever imagined before. as I have entered into this last act of my life, the third act, what I am really seeing is that letting go and surrender are the key pieces in allowing something amazing to unfold. Hanging on to stuff doesn't make me younger, doesn't make me stronger, doesn't make me better. Letting go of stuff makes me stronger, makes me better, makes me freer, makes me more alive. So, what am I willing to let go of to create a new beginning? And how could I do that, not only in my own life, but with this amazing, look around at these amazing faces, some of whom you haven't seen in a while, some of whom you've never seen, but look at how amazing they are. There is life here waiting to be expressed so beautifully in community. May we do this. May we do this together. May we have a greater commitment than resistance. So motivating. And I am now going to call beloved Ona up and ask her to do blessing of the offering. Do we have ushers? We need, there's Mark, there's Kevin. We need 4. We need 1 on the outside and 1 in each aisle. Looks like Jade's heading back there and Bruce is heading back there. So we got it. Yay. What a team. All right. Ona, you will bless the offering. It's such a joy to be back with you all. And I'm sure you're all feeling the same. Yay. So let's express our gratitude for this wonderful, loving, and supportive community. And put something in the offering that is in proportion to your own income. And keep the center rolling so that we can enter into our new phase and grow from our 50th or 51st birthday onward into something better and greater and newer, and hopefully for a whole lot more people. Remember, we have to spread it. This thing has to be contagious. And to be contagious, we have to all put our share in. Thank you very much. And now we're going to sing. We are so blessed. Sorry. It's been a long time. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are blessed and we give thanks for these gifts and the good that they go to build this community. And we are blessed because the amazing Phoebe Bloom.
I'm no Matt Shredder on piano, but Matt is. I can't play banjo either. Can you sing though? Okay. We'll do that together. We'll share it. Back when we were not seeing each other ever in person, I did a live stream with you guys, and I was at my dad's in the middle of nowhere, and I don't think it even worked. And I wrote a song for you guys, but I don't think that it ever works. I wrote it on banjo, but I decided today I would do it on piano for you, since we're really here now. And it's called Moonlit Child, and it has a lot to do with all the things that we're talking about today. So, thought it was a dream you shared with a world that didn't care anyway. Just a dream, but little did you know the world would take hold someday. One day, as the failed tamers cast you away, like some fodder for a while, you kept your spirit close, little little child. Oh, you thought it was a secret. It was hidden deep inside. The world wouldn't like it anyway. Now you must be sick. The treasure you buried, world didn't care anyway. Oh, as the failed tamers cast you away, like some photo for a while, you kept your spirit close, little moonlit child. Oh, little moonlit child, didn't want to show them. Nobody has to know. You feel a little different 'cause you you are perfect as you are. You are holding all you need. Your light will burn much brighter now it has been. Thought it was a dream. Now you got it off your chest, and the world is more blessed by you. Real little moonlit child, keep it bright, little moonlit child.
Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, Phoebe. It is so good having you here live and in person.
Wow.
We're experimenting with trying to get rid of announcements. We know that's how we share things and how things happen. And people kind of like to come off the message with a sense of peace and quiet and not. So I'm just going to kind of briefly touch on the announcements. They will be, I guarantee, less than 5 minutes. So keep your part of our new beginning. So if I could see the slides, please, because I got no clue what's there without them. So, all right. Oh, there is still a Zoom for people at home. There is still a Zoom link this afternoon. Kathy Day is in the building, and she's got her laptop, and she's going to be doing an after service Zoom meeting for those. So give that a try. The link should be on the Facebook page. Wednesdays, the Heart Space meetup with Danu. Danu, would you please stand? He's an amazing young man. And he has a 1 o'clock meeting that's intergenerational. It's called Heart Space. You just come together and chat, and a 3 o'clock meeting that's next gen, which is 18 to 35. So please do your best to think about that and pop in and do that. On Thursdays at 7:30 in the morning, Angela is still doing her forgiveness meditation online. And that, all these things you can find. Okay, so there we are. That was, see, wasn't that quick? Now, we're going to be doing, what am I trying to say? Would like you to check our website, csleugene.org. Angela Alcantar has rebuilt it completely, and it is so user-friendly and so beautiful. And you really, really, really will be impressed with all the amazing stuff that is there. And all of the events and all the links to everything is in that. So you really don't need the announcements on Sunday unless we got something big. So we're going to stand and sing the peace song.
There be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and now it begins with peace.
If you choose, please repeat after me. I am ready.
I am ready
For a new beginning.
for a new beginning.
And so it is.
And so it is.